everybody, welcome to our Coach's Corner. For this week, we're going to talk about training consistency. And Ryan and I just got done talking about, what does that mean when you hear people say you need to be consistent with training to see results? And what we talked about was kind of a couple of different things. The big thing that we'll discuss in this video is the overarching consistency of following your training program.
Yep.
If you have one built, and if you've listened to our previous video, vlog, whatever these are, you'll know the importance of a training program. So I'm not going to get into that today. So consistency, following your program. Go.
So consistency following your program. If you've got a training program that has you training for 3 days a week, follow those 3 days of the week. If you miss one of those days, move on to the next one. Don't keep bumping it back and pushing everything else forward and adjusting it all, because it will get basically all convoluted and you'll start kind of being way behind and trying to catch up, and that just doesn't work right.
No, it doesn't. Especially, life is crazy for a lot of people. So especially, if you work, you have kids, you have a family, or even if you're single, you don't work and you do, stay home all day. It can get pretty busy for you sometimes.
Absolutely can be. You're gonna miss days. That's gonna happen. Try to minimize it as much as possible. A lot of programs are built so that each week builds on the next one. So if you've done something one week, it's all gonna be good for the next week if you follow it. And if you miss a day, or if you try to throw 2 days in a row, you can be more tired, more sore, you have less beneficial workouts, essentially, and it just screws everything all up.
Yeah, so it sounds like if we miss our training, especially if you have a set goal like a powerlifting, strongman meet, bodybuilding, etc., then you might be missing a key component where you're building each thing. So like if you do 35% bench one week, the next week you're supposed to do 40 in your program, but you're missing that important step which allows your muscles and your body to prepare. Is that about right?
Yep, that's about right.
Okay, so what are some things that we do with our athletes to minimize that?
A lot of it is just the proper preparation and the planning, really. That's what it really all boils down to. You're gonna have times where you're gonna miss things, and just if you do miss it and you go back the next week and now you're up 5% more than what you were before, understand that it's probably gonna be a little bit harder than what it would have been if you had been able to hit those days that last week. It's not the end all be all, but it can have negative side effects of not reaching your goals.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that we've worked in, at least for me, because consistency has always been kind of a problem in my end. You guys know me personally, I'm always doing 10,000 things at once. So what we've started doing is saying, okay, this month I have these things going on, and I specifically plan around it. If I know I have a crazy week coming up, like we're gonna be in North Carolina like we are now, we plan a deload weekend there. We say, okay, you know what, we're just gonna spend some time in the gym having fun, keep the general days that you normally do, but don't do anything above a 70%. Just go in there, have fun, get some work in, move on. Once we get back to Florida, we'll get back on our regular scheduled programming.
Yep, that's the best way, is just, like you said, the proper planning and adjusting your goals if needed. Oh, I did. Whatever. Normally she's proper planning. I'm just kind of it's there.
Ryan's a planner, don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
I'm just the vocal one.
Yes.
So basically, yes, plan it out. So look at your schedule for the month. If you have a coach doing your programming, let him know during whatever check-in periods you have. I know you do your people's programming at the end of each week and sometimes each day.
Yep.
So, if you know your coach is going to ask you for a check-in, or he puts you out a program every Monday, give him a heads up the day before and say, hey, by the way, I have this going on this week. How do you want to handle that in my programming? And a good coach is going to make sure that he or she is able to program something for you that fits what you need to do, because it doesn't benefit either of you if you don't do it. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add to that. Do you?
That's what I've got.
All right. So be consistent. If you can't be consistent, try your best to get what you can in and communicate with your coach.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, we'll see you next week for Coach's Corner, and thank you again for following along.
And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks, guys.